upload moto and mountain bike content of old footage I have. I've been going through it lately and figured I'd actually do something with it now. I figured at the same time I might as well start doing some vlog style stuff, I guess. I'm always working on something or doing something with motorcycles for the most part. It is February in Illinois right now, so there's not a lot of that going on. But it is 40 degrees today, so we're going to take one of my bikes out and run some errands, and then I actually have to pull it apart to work on that because Harley doesn't know how to do fucking wiring. So, this is the bike we're going to have to do wiring on today. I just picked it up a few months ago. Did mids on it. Used some thrash and supply pegs. I think they're drag specialty mounts. It was a pain in the ass to source all that stuff. But one problem this bike does have that I have to fix today is all the wiring for the taillights. You won't be able to see this till after I pull this thing apart. But all the wiring goes in a channel inside this fender that runs up here. And all of it came out and got rubbed raw on here. So when you try and use your turn signal, well, first off, the brake light just stays on. So only one works. And then the turn signal doesn't work at all. The front does, but the rear doesn't. The other turn signal's fine because that side didn't get all fucked. But after I run a few errands, take this thing out and ride it, we'll have to fix that. First time riding get coffee on this bike this year. And I already almost get past tensed by some old lady driving down the road who just decided to come into my lane. Guess that's what you get for going out in February. Also, it has some new rattle or noise. I don't know. Maybe these things just do that. I honestly have very little time on one. The only one I got to ride a lot, I rented out in San Bernardino, and it was fucking clapped. The motor mounts were shot. It vibrated so bad. It was horrible. But this thing's only got like 3,000 miles on it. I just picked it up 2 months ago. It was also my first Harley. Never owned one. I have KTM 500, a Triumph Tiger 900, and I used to have a Victory Octane. I do like the Harley, but I'm going to change a lot on it. It rides pretty comfortably. The brakes are fucking terrible. The clutch pull is kind of shit. I mean, this is compared to the other bikes I have, and I know that it's not by any means a performance bike at all. And it's only got a single disc up front. But maybe I'll swap to dual discs up front because the front brake fucking blows. Back from running some errands. Now I gotta actually pull this thing apart. I don't think there's a way I can do this without pulling the rear fender off, so it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So I was able to get enough slack in the wires, just unplug them up here. You can trace them back pretty easily. But you can see that that's not how that's supposed to be. These slipped out of the channel that's inside the fender up here, and we're rubbing on the tire and completely frayed the wires, making them short. In turn, my fucking lights don't work. So we'll wrap those up, make sure they work again. Hopefully that fixes it. Not really sure what I plan to do as far as making videos and stuff, but probably any video I make that has to do with me working on this bike, probably just be me complaining about how much of a piece of shit it is. I'm not really a fan of Harleys at all, other than the aesthetics. I think they look awesome, but everything else about them is kind of shit, honestly. At least if you're buying new, they're way overpriced for what you get. Usually, the normal Harley crowd of people that own them, also not the coolest group of people, but, you know, whatever. I usually don't ride with anybody. And most of the stuff I do is just motorcycle trips with my dad or one of my friends doing off-road stuff. But hopefully, I would like to take some long trips on this. It's kind of hell yeah brothered out at the moment. That's how I got it with this exhaust and the intake and stuff. So all that's going to get changed. Get rid of the apes. Put some different rear shocks on here. Pretty much make it like a Dynabro bike. And this one's frayed all the way up in there. I'm going to do my best to try and unfuck this thing. Swapping it to mids was already enough of a pain in the ass. If you've ever swapped a Harley from forwards to mids or from mids to forwards, you know what it's, well, mids to forwards isn't that bad, but forwards to mids sucks. You're gonna blow about $500 to $600 on fucking small parts and other bullshit. Trying to just get a decent riding position. That one's free too. It was really annoying and kind of ridiculous that I had to spend that much money and do that much work just to swap it back to mid controls. I mean, you have to pull the whole primary off, inner and outer, your compensator, your clutch basket. If you're not a mechanically inclined person or have any sort of skills like that, I would not at all recommend doing it yourself. Take it to a shop, have a friend work on it that actually knows how to work on bikes, because it's not, I mean, it is as simple as just taking off bolts and putting stuff back on. But if you're not familiar with doing stuff like that, or you're not comfortable with it, I wouldn't recommend it, because if you fuck up the parts in there, those are expensive things to replace. Not something I'd recommend doing if you're not very comfortable with working on stuff, or if you don't have experience or the proper tools. The proper tools make a huge difference. I probably should have done a video on that. Let's plug these in and see if I have a light that works. Probably should have taken note of which plug went into which one, because now I'm realizing they're the same exact plug. Nope. Still no. I did get it working. I just had the plugs in the wrong spot. But I have a working brake light and turn signal again, thankfully. That wasn't too much of a pain in the ass. Maybe this will just turn into videos I can send to my friends and family. I travel for work, so I'm not home a whole lot, so I don't get to see people a whole lot, and it's hard to keep up with everyone. So maybe these will just turn into me rambling on about stupid shit. I can send them to people, or they can watch them, and they can remember that having me around all the time isn't that much fun, because I mostly just ramble and bitch about stuff. Who knows? Maybe people will enjoy that. Either way, it'll give me something to do while I'm stuck on the road. I definitely like to do videos of motorcycle trips I take. Don't know how many, if I'll be able to do many this year. Probably just day trips. Man, trying to get these wires back in this channel is a fucking nightmare. Gotta make sure they're in there, because I don't feel like having to do this again. And as warm as it is for February, it's still a little cold and it's still hard. Hands are going a little numb. It's kind of hard to feel what I'm doing in here, especially when you can't see anything. I'm trying to get these wires slipped into where they're supposed to be held up. I have a kid on the way. I'm gonna be a dad, so that'll be a whole new experience. And the motorcycle trips will probably stop completely for a while, other than just riding around. Maybe try and do some moto vlogs or something. I don't know. I'll be moving too, and I'll be a little bit closer to the good riding that we have in the Midwest, which Wisconsin has quite a bit of good stuff. As long as you're up in central or past that. I'm not the best rider. I've been riding all my life, but certainly not the most skilled off-road rider. But you guys will be able to see that from the videos I'm already gonna upload. But those are all older. I also don't know how to talk to a camera, so that's fun. We'll learn how to do that. Hopefully they don't fucking come out and eat themselves alive. My lights still work. Yep, cool. it'll be a fucking journey, that's for sure. Quite a few things I like to do, so I'll try and do a little bit of everything on here. It's all gonna be kind of mediocre. Mostly I think I'm just gonna do it because it'll be something fun to do. Yeah, it'll be nice to have memories to look back on. But I think this is gonna be it for my first shitty vlog. I'm gonna do a mediocre job editing it because I barely know how to use editing software other than just piecing GoPro clips together and some pretty bad color grading. I fucking hate listening to myself talk. I hate seeing myself on camera. At least it's winter, so there's no one out in my neighborhood walking around and walking past my garage as I'm awkwardly suffering through this. If you do know me and you see this, please bully me in the comments. If you don't know me and you see this, you can also bully me in the comments. That's fine too.